That's two different KDs, one in Golden State, one in OKC. Which one do you like better?
Well, first of all, I would tell you the original one because I don't find, first, I want to be very, very clear about what I'm about to say. Kevin Durant is lying. Kevin Durant has never been a phony. Kevin Durant has never been that guy. And for people who think that he is that way, they're wrong. Kevin Durant and I obviously have had our issues in the past because you know what? I called his move the softest or the weakest move by a superstar that I've ever seen. I stand by that statement.
But apologize to his mother for it, though.
Of course, Mama Durant. She's nothing but love for Mama Durant now, obviously so. But I say all of that to say because I want to emphasize and specify my point. I had a problem with his move. I have never had a problem with the person that Kevin Durant is. Kevin Durant is a guy that is at his core, he's one of the most decent guys you'll ever find. He cares about people. He cares about doing things the right way. He is not a bad person by any stretch of the imagination. Can he be sensitive? Sure. Did he want to put forth a good public image? Absolutely. That doesn't mean he's phony. What has happened now compared to before is that before he was afraid to step up and really speak his mind because of the backlash that he would receive. And now that he's been in the league for a decade, he doesn't care anymore. It's not that he was a phony. It's that he grew up and he established himself as one of the great players this game has ever seen. And as a result, this is just his mentality. So when you talk about whether you like him before, you like him now, what I liked about him before is that before he didn't put himself in a position to deal with scrutiny he can't stomach. Now he puts himself in a position where he finds himself coming across as a bit too sensitive because he doesn't necessarily have that alligator skin that some of us, mainly yours truly, has. I genuinely and truly could give 2 cents about what most people say, think, or feel. That's not how Kevin Durant's built. Before, he guarded against it by not putting himself in those positions. Now he finds himself responding to certain situations he shouldn't respond to. It comes across as a bit soft, and he should avoid putting himself in those positions like he did back in the day when he was in OKC.
Well,
that's my issue.
You and I really disagree on this one.
Sure.
I like the honest one, Will. The one I prefer is the honest one. Now,
but I never felt he was dishonest.
I'm going to go right at your alligator skin right now.
Sure.
You say lie. You accuse a lot of people, including me. You're lying to the American public. I know you're saying it tongue-in-cheek.
I do think you're lying to the American people.
But the point is, a lie is not simply a false statement.
Okay.
It's an intentionally dishonest one. I don't think Kevin Durant is lying, whether he's right or wrong, whether he's evolved as a person, which clearly he has, even to be comfortable enough to say this in public.
I'm saying he was lying when he called himself a phony.
But
that's
he
what I'm
may
saying.
look back at himself then and say, you know, that really wasn't me. And he's evolved enough as a person right now to say, I feel confident. I want to say this is really who I am. I prefer the honest one. And let me tell you something. Many people don't. Many people would rather be lied to by athletes because they can serve them the kind of mythology, right, that many of us grew up, especially if you're older, believing about athletes. You know, once upon a time, Mickey Mantle was like a god. He couldn't do anything wrong. It turns out he could do plenty wrong. And later in life, he said, I wish I would have been better, right? So Kevin Durant is saying, no, I'm not just the small town kid. Oh, shucks, here's my humility. A lot of that was false humility, maybe. I didn't feel comfortable enough in my own skin. Maybe he didn't feel accomplished enough. Maybe he was just too young. He got to the league very young. I now feel like an accomplished, full adult. And now I feel like I can show you who I am. And what I like so much about that is precisely because people, maybe you, maybe others say, you know, I don't like this guy as much as I like the image you were projecting once upon a time. Good for KD.
Okay. Yeah, but I can't speak for you, Stephen A., but I'll speak for myself. And I think what many people out there perceive, Max, this isn't the real and authentic Kevin Durant. This isn't the confident, I'm ready to step out and show you who I am, Kevin Durant. This is a guy who appears to be, well, at the very best, conflicted about who he is. He seems to internalize, listen to with rabbit ears, every bit of sensitivity. He internalizes every bit of frustration. This is a guy who, to me, Max, quite honestly, isn't yet being authentic to who he is, but trying to figure it out. He doesn't know. I don't know I don't know if the old Kevin Durant was phony.
Hold on.
I don't know that this Kevin Durant. I don't think this Kevin Durant.
Let me chime in because I want you to respond to both of us. Let me chime in here. Where you and I differ is that I think that Kevin Durant has a heightened level of sensitivity because deep in at the core of his soul, he knows the move was weak. Period. The fact of the matter is that Kevin Durant, as I've said to you before, is one of the greatest scorers we've ever seen in this game. This guy is a career 27-point-per-game scorer on 49% shooting. This dude can drop 40 in his sleep. He is one of the greatest scorers this game has ever seen, and as far as I'm concerned, is a close number 2 to LeBron, not a distant mile, like you have said, Max. But because of that greatness, with greatness comes great responsibility, as they say.
As Uncle Ben said, Spider-Man.
That's right, Uncle Ben, Spider-Man. And to go from where you were in a Game 7 of a conference final to the team that beat you, who happened to be 73-9, who had made 2 consecutive trips to the NBA Finals, he knows, even though he might have done the right thing for himself, he knows in his core he can't blame others for looking at him and saying, damn. I mean, for you to be that great, to join that team, and I think that's what eats away at him, and I think that's what you see.
I'm going to address them both. But
Sure.
I'll start. I'll use the rabbit ears as a peg here.
Okay.
Well, because I think that he does have rabbit ears, and I think he's trying to deal with that. And if that's really who he is, listen, I'm a guy who's sensitive to what other people think. That may be him. That may be his identity,
that is
right?
You too, yes.
And even if he is denying it, to me, there's still an evolution taking place before our eyes, which is now taking place in a more honest way than it used to. He's saying it out loud. He's saying, this is how I used to be, this is how I am now. And even if what he's saying about himself now is a little more wishful thinking than reality, even the fact that he's willing to talk about it this way shows me a change in him.
But that's why I'm writing you're wrong. The reason why I'm writing you're wrong is because we're addressing the word phony. And that is when I said he lied. You're talking about a process of evolution and growth and maturation that is taking place before our very eyes. That's not phony. That's growth.